Hey, what is up guys? Welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, where today I'm going to be previewing our upcoming fixture against Leicester City this Tuesday evening in the Barclays Premier League. And this game, I think, comes just at the right time, considering that we've just lost 2-1 to Spurs at White Hart Lane. Of course, I don't need to be reminding you of that result, but the fact is we've got to be bouncing back from that, and this is the ideal fixture in which to do it in. And thankfully, we don't have to wait too long in which to play it. Leicester, of course, are having a very underwhelming season after doing very well in the Championship last term. They come into this campaign, started off relatively well with wins against Man United and had a very decent run in, and they even got a draw against us at the King Power Stadium earlier on in the season. And actually looked like a very decent outfit, certainly a side that looked worthy of staying in the Premier League. But at this point, Nigel Pearson's men really seem to be lacking some motivation. Maybe that stems from Pearson, who seems to be getting in all kind of situations himself. I mean, the incident that he had with was it MacArthur the other evening, it shows a lack of professionalism, I believe, on his behalf. And he's really got to have a look at himself and really get the players playing for him. I think that's certainly an area of their game that is lacking. They need motivation from their manager. Leicester did, of course, lose 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace at the weekend, so they don't go into this game particularly high on confidence. Pearson's men aren't playing the best of football at the moment, and that's been accompanied by very, very poor results in recent weeks and months. In fact, they do look like a very deflated team, and they don't seem to be emulating the side that they were earlier on in the season. Of course, it is getting to that point now in the Premier League where lots of teams, especially in the relegation area, are going to start piling on the pressure, looking for results, getting very, very desperate and giving their all in games like this especially. And Leicester don't really have anything to lose in this game because they certainly are the underdogs. And I'm not expecting them to park the bus in this game. Again, I hate to use that term, but I don't expect them to play defensively in this game. I do expect them to play. I would expect them to come out and play a good game of football against us. I'd expect them to have their attacking talent on display. Obviously, the danger men, I probably don't need to point those out, but it is a Ochoa, players like that who could cause us problems. Vardy, if he plays in this game, the guy who caused a load of problems to Manchester United, but he doesn't really seem to have kicked on from that game especially. It seemed like a one-game wonder on his behalf. But this is a team that does sit 20th in the Premier League, a team that we should be having the beating of, and a convincing winner that we have to respond. Can't stress that enough. We have to respond from defeat at Spurs. We've got to put it behind us. We've got to simply get it out of our minds as fast as possible by getting a convincing and strong win in this game, and then we move on to the FA Cup at the weekend, and it will be some welcome relief from the Premier League in that game. So it's a massive game for us. Regarding Arsenal, I do want to see changes going into this game. I was a bit surprised with the team lineup that we fielded at Spurs, especially seeing Danny Welbeck come into the squad. The big bonus for us is, of course, Alexis Sanchez to return to full training, so he should feature in this game. I think he has to feature if he's back in the team. There are no explanations whatsoever. He has to be starting the game. In my opinion, and against Leicester, I just think that we have kind of room to experiment with the side in a sense. I would maybe like to see Aaron Ramsey drop for this game, and I do want to pinpoint him because he has been poor in recent weeks. He was very poor against Spurs, in my opinion, one of the poorer players on the pitch, and didn't offer a lot to the midfield. A couple of options that you could do. A lot of people might not see this as the most satisfying of options, but you could drop Cazorla a little bit deeper into the midfield and have him play in the box-to-box midfield role. That is something that might leave us defensively a little bit exposed, but I think Cazorla puts in a good tackle. I certainly think he could do a shift in that position, and it's another one of the ways that we can accommodate Cazorla and Ozil into the same team. And it's kind of become obvious to me that those two aren't going to work in the same team unless one of them plays on the flanks, or we do the thing that I've just mentioned. But personally, I don't think Wenger is going to put that into the game. Although Ozil does contribute from the wing, or Cazorla contributes from the wing, or whatever, it leaves us with a lack of pace on that flank, and it's frustrating to see that. It leaves us exposed on that flank, and it's wasting position, in my opinion. That's certainly how I regard it. I certainly think, what's the point in doing that? Why not have a player that is so renowned for playing in that role? So have proper wingers like Theo and Alexis on the wings, and then have a playmaker playing in between them in Mesut Ozil or Santi Cazorla. It's really hard to pick between those two, but personally at the moment I preference Mesut Ozil and possibly drop Cazorla into that deeper role, into the Ramsey role like I just said. But personally, my preference would be to see Thomas Rosicky start this game. My Arsenal lineup in full would be David Ospina in goal, Hector Bellerin, Gabriel, Laurent Koscielny, Kieran Gibbs, Francis Coquelin, Thomas Rosicky, Theo Walcott, Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez and Danny Welbeck up top. I just want to see variety in the team. With that side that I've just fielded, I want to see, I personally don't think that's the team that we're going to play, but it would be nice to see a bit of variety and a bit of pace within the side. Playing with two proper wingers would be exciting to see. Give Monreal a rest, bring Kieran Gibbs into the squad, who's being used as a bit of a rotation player at the moment because Monreal is on such good form. But I'd like to see Gibbs start this game, fight for his spot. Gabriel, I'd like to see him make his debut. Possibly give Bellerin a rest as well, although I have said I'd like to see Bellerin start the game. Could possibly start James, but I think Bellerin still offers a bit more than James does at this moment in time. Give Giroud a rest, play Danny Welbeck from the start of this game. I'd like to see how he performs. He was certainly one of the better players at White Hart Lane in the weekend. I think that's a team that certainly will cause Leicester problems. Plenty of attacking talent on offer, and it should be able to get us a few goals at least. I think it's vitally important that we win this game at least 3 or 4-0, just to prove a point, to make a statement that the defeat at Spurs hasn't hindered us in any way, shape or form, and we are very ready to fight for a top 4 spot at this moment in time. But it's a massive game for us this Tuesday evening. Emirates Stadium is the place to be. If you've enjoyed the video, guys, please do hit that like button, subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, do check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game, and I'll speak to you soon, guys.